Alright, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be taking a look at my custom Kilmonger that I've been working on, and mostly what I did to this figure is just add accessories, so let's jump right in and take a look at him. So obviously for his forearms here, because I thought they looked a little plain, I got the Crimson Viper Trooper, and I just put the gauntlets on him, and I think it looks a lot better. His belt piece here is the same as the normal figure, but I did change out the holster here, and also the thigh holster for the ammunition is also from the figure. But moving on to the belt, this holster is from a Viper figure, part of the Viper 3-pack, and I put a Valverse Deagle in it. I just think it looks good. And the knife right here is from the G.I. Joe Classified Series Sergeant Stalker. I just cut the straps off of it, and I glued it to the back here. I think it adds a little bit of a nice contrast, and also, of course, the weapons are removable, so you can remove the knife here, and you can also remove the Deagle. And any pistol can basically fit in the holster, but I think the Deagle is just a cool choice. And also the holster is connected by Velcro here because I wanted the ability to still take the belt off, and also I can fasten it to whatever place I want it to. So if I want a little bit higher on his waist here, I could move it there, or I can move it back down to where it was like originally at. Personally, I prefer it down here, but for articulation, sometimes you want to move it up. And of course, the Deagle goes back in the holster. And his hands are the same hands that he originally came with, but the mask I did a repaint of. Originally, I didn't really like how it looked because it was just missing details, like the indentations here. Originally, I had done it with Sharpie, so it looked kind of weird. That was my first attempt at like a quote-unquote custom for it, but I went back and I did a black wash over it into the indentations, I mean. And honestly, I think it looks a lot better that way. It brings out a lot more of the mask. And I had to repaint some of the red on the mouthpiece and also on the forehead, and I put a little bit more on the eyes there. So I think it looks a little bit more aggressive and a lot cooler. I repainted the horns a dark gray and I black washed them, but I'm not sure if it's going to show with this lighting. And then the frills here, like the main piece, like the main of the mask, I also repainted with like a green and brown mixture. I tried to get it as close as I could to the original, and I did a brown wash over it, so there's a little bit more of depth to how it looks. You can see there the brown wash. Honestly, I think it looks a lot better. And originally, I also wanted to do this. I wanted to make the figure's mask removable, so I added a elastic band here, so that way you can remove the mask. Because originally it didn't have this, and it would stay on the face, but it was kind of loose too, so I didn't like that. And of course, I also painted the back of the mane here, because originally all this was unpainted. It was just blue, and I hated how that looked, especially from behind like this. But going with the mask, you can remove it because it's just an elastic band. So it holds on pretty tightly there, and you can remove it. And I'm using the original Eric Kilmonger head that came with this because I just like the way it looks. I think personally it looks better than the re-release Eric Kilmonger, the one in the Panther suit. And I think they nailed the likeness for Michael B. Jordan. It looks pretty good. And then the mask, this is how it looks when it's not on him. And of course, this is the elastic band right here. If I can stop dropping stuff, this is the elastic band for it. So I still have the plastic indentation there, but this is just to help fasten it and secure it. But there's more accessories with this guy. I decided to go all out with this guy because I just kept looking at items and kept thinking to myself that, man, I really want this guy to be a certain way. So what I also did was bring out this head sculpt from the Black Panther T'Chaka figure, a figure that came out quite a while ago, but I like the look of this mask. And I also gave him the hands from the Eric Kilmonger in the Panther suit. I want to say it was an Infinity Saga re-release, but I'm not too sure. And what I also did was get each of these claw hands here. So now he has the ability to use Panther claws. And also with this head sculpt too, he looks like he's in a little bit more of a Panther suit, but he still has that tactical look, which is what I was aiming for. Personally, I would have really liked to see something like this in the movie instead of just another Panther suit, but that's just my opinion. And when it comes to posability, he's still pretty decent too, so you can get him into some pretty okay poses with the claws. Even with these gauntlets here, you can still push his hand up a little bit. So you can still get him in a little bit of like a panther pose like that, which I think looks really cool, especially with this mask. I think that the T'Chaka mask, originally I was thinking about using the Kilmonger Panther head sculpt, but it looked a little too small. It didn't fit the mask quite right, and the peg hole just wasn't that good. Although this one fit a lot better. And personally, I think it just looks a little bit more aggressive, and I really like this look for him. But going even further, besides just the claw hands, I also decided to get the gripping hands that came with the same Eric Kilmonger figure. So let's see the hands here. This one is the left hand. And this one here, oops, the gauntlet's sliding off. So, right hand. And it sucks that these don't have vertical hinges because I think it'd make the weapon holding a lot better. They just have horizontal hinges, so they just go like this instead of up and down like that. But they still work for the most part. And one of my favorite parts about it is that since it is gripping, you can still give him weapons. So let's see. The Deagle's in the holster, we'll keep it there. But I also gave him this Uzi from the Snake Eyes and Timber 2-pack. And he didn't use this in the movie, but I think he just looks really cool with the Uzi in his hand. And the hard part is that the fingers are kind of hard to get into the holster. Sometimes you gotta kind of separate them a little bit. And once you can get it like that, you can hold the Uzi in his hand. And honestly, I just like the look of this with the Uzi, and I especially like it with the mask on. He looks like a total menace here. So yeah, he didn't use it in the movie, but I think the Uzi just looks badass with him. And I also gave him the Valorverse Deagle, but this one is the one where it's like empty or like the slide is being pulled back. And this also fits in his hand. For simplicity's sake, we'll just put it like this. But yeah, like an emptied version and a loaded version of the Deagle. So he has that in his holster, and this one separate. And I also decided to give him the Valorverse like AR too. And I picked this one because this one has the tan coloration, and it just looks so good with his tan pants, the camo. I really like this look for him. Oh, and I completely forgot that, of course, the mask also fits. This mask with the elastic band also fits over this head too. So all I need to do is just sling it back like this, hold it a little bit to fasten it into place. If I can get it, come on. I just slowly lower it onto his head here. So it hangs on to the back like that, just like I did before with the Michael B. Jordan head. And I just fit it onto his face. And I'm not sure if the lighting would do it justice, but I tried to aim it to where you can see his golden eyes underneath. I think that makes him look really menacing with this mask on. I think with a little bit of this lighting, you can kind of see his eyes poking through. And yeah, I think he looks awesome like that. And initially, this is what the custom was just going to be. It's just like this with the AR. I think he looks like a complete menace like this. Yeah, he looks badass like that. But I wanted to go further, so that's why I included all these other accessories here too. And last but not least, I also gave him the weapons that the Kilmonger figure head came with. The one with the Panther suit. And of course, these weapons just go into his hands like this. And since he still poses well, you can get him in all sorts of poses using these. Although the right hand, because I do use it more for guns, it's stretched out a little much. So he's not able to hold the melee weapons as good as the left hand. Because the left hand doesn't do as much gripping for the bigger weapons. But honestly, I think he looks badass like this. He has that tactical look and a little bit of the traditional look with the mask. And also he has the panther claws too. Honestly, I would have really liked to see a version of Killmonger that was like this the whole movie, with the tactical look to him, with alongside the panther look and the traditional mask, because he only used this mask one time in the movie, and I thought the mask was going to appear a lot more because I think the mask looks so cool. But yeah, this kind of weird, chaotic video is just my custom Killmonger. So, and let's get a shot with him with his accessories here. So yeah, that's the custom I've been working on. I'll catch you guys in the next one.